Antoinette. Welcome to my kitchen. I cook with so much passion and it's seasoned with a lot of love. So today I'm going to be making such a great family recipe, which is traditional for every holiday, and that's lasagna. And the holidays are coming up, so I know this is going to come in handy with a lot of you out there. And the recipe, the ingredients, and the preparation will all be listed below my presentation. We're going to mix the ground beef with the pork. Incidentally, this tool is amazing. I happen to love it. It's like a right-hand tool for me. That and my scissor, I can't be without in my kitchen. And we're going to cut in the parsley. Do you notice I don't stand there and chop it? I cut it in small pieces. Gives it so much flavor, so much needed flavor. We're going to brown the garlic and onion first. Get it a little warm and flavorful. Add some salt and pepper. Italian cooking loves salt, and it loves pepper. Okay? Again, my wooden spoon. I have to tell you, with all the Italian cooking that I do, I mostly use a wooden spoon. It just works best. I find the metal and the stainless steel is like very harsh. It's very, very harsh on the meats. I feel like I'm in Naples today, cooking for my Italian family. Everything is third generation recipes. I cooked from 10 years old with my parents, and everything just stuck in my mind. And I remember my grandmother showing up on Christmas Day, and she had the whole bed covered with a sheet. She made all the homemade pastas, the raviolis, the fettuccine was homemade. It's just all of these things that resonate in my mind is all about family food and tradition, and how important it is to prepare these meals. But I want to go into something more deeper later as we get through this recipe to explain to everyone how they can bring cooking back to their family and how important it is. And especially with so many people working from home now, my habit from when I was a kid till my entire married life, which incidentally this year I'm married 50 years, was, and I always worked. I used to get up early in the morning before I leave for the office. Now everyone has the luxury of working from home, so it kind of makes it even easier. I used to cook my meal. And I used to cook it early in the morning and let it sit, whether it was chicken cacciatore, whether it was eggplant parmesan, chicken parm, and we're going to get into those recipes on other YouTube videos. But I have to tell you, it was amazing because you come home at 6 o'clock or 5:30 and your meal is done. So that's the secret to healthy eating, not ordering out. Someone asked me, someone said to me once, do you do Uber Eats or do you do DoorDash? I said, I am Uber Eats. I have it down packed where my family always had a hot meal and a healthy meal every single night. And it can be done today. And remember, my recipes are simple ingredients, simple recipes. And that's where it's at today. Healthy eating. We don't use preservatives. We try to use everything natural. And it's a win-win situation for you and your family. So we're browning the meat. Once this meat gets browned, it gets put into the sauce. Now remember, my sauce is bubbling and cooking with the San Marzano tomatoes. That's the staple. We're browning the meat. So this is going to be added to the sauce. Covering it, it'll get done a little faster. Stay nice and moist and flavorful. What I'd like to do is I'd like to add some red wine. I cook a lot with red wine and white wine. I use mostly white wine with my fish. I like to cook with the red wine because what that does is, with any of the beefs and meats, it just enhances the flavor. It brings it out. So that's what you want to do. Your family will love you for this. And it's pretty simple. Remember, the sauce that you made has a lot of ingredients and flavors in it. So really your job here is to just, with onion and garlic and fresh parsley, is to just brown the extra additional meat. Some people use their meatballs and they smash them up and they use that as the inside of lasagna, and you can do that. But my meatballs, I make so many they never last. So I always do this. The right way to do it is to make the meat separately. And then we're going to take a nice large tray once the meat is done. We're going to put the sauce in here. And I'm going to show you how to layer your lasagna. But before we do that, we're going to flavor the ricotta. And once we flavor the ricotta, then I'll teach you how to make the lasagna, and we'll get to taste the finished product. We've made our sauce today, remember, with the San Marzano tomatoes. It's flavored, the sauce is flavored with the meat and the pork and everything in there. And the meatballs. We have the extra. Okay. We're just going to cook the flavor a little bit. Put it back. This happens to be my staple sauce that is made, my Sunday sauce with the pork, the meatballs, and the sausage. But if you don't want to go through that and just make a regular sauce, you can make a meat sauce for your lasagna. You don't need to do the pork and the sausage and the meatballs. All we really need is the meat sauce, as you can see. This is the staple. I'm going to cover this, and now we're going to make our lasagna. First, we're going to make the ricotta. So with the ricotta, and again, the ingredients and the preparation will be posted. We're going to put 3 eggs, actually 4 eggs, because I have 2 containers in here. I'm making a large. It's 2 eggs for every container of fresh ricotta. I'm going to add our grated cheese. Shredded, I should say, shredded grated cheese. This is mozzarella, and this is the shredded grated. Never can overdo the cheese. There's never enough cheese. Okay, so that and fresh parsley. Again, I love my scissor. And now we're going to mix this. Funny story, every time I mix this, I think of my mom. She used to stand over me when she was teaching me, and she would say, "Don't mix it too much, don't make it too creamy." She was right. She said, "You don't want your lasagna to be watery." Italian food loves salt. We're good. We're going to add a little bit of the meat sauce into the ricotta with the tomatoes. Okay, and we're ready to start layering. Pretty simple. Everyone thinks lasagna is so difficult. It should only be made on holidays. It's a staple dish. It's really pretty simple. Serves a lot of people. You can pre-make it. Company's coming. You have that with a nice antipasta and a salad. It's a meal. Okay, so now is the fun part. We're going to make the lasagna. So we have our sauce. We coat the bottom with sauce to lay the noodles down. Incidentally, I use Barilla pre-cooked, so there's no boiling, burning hands, falling apart, noodles falling apart. And these are great. They're like homemade. And just FYI, they also come in gluten-free. These do, if anyone is gluten out there. They're so easy to work with, as you can see. Okay, so now we're going to put our base, our ricotta. It's the part I love. I think of my mother all the time, every time I make this. She really taught me how to make a good lasagna. Family loves it. And what I love about it, like I said, when you're having guests or company coming over, you can pre-make it. And it stays so nice. You know, it's the kind of dish where you don't have to stand over it. And we're going to add some meat. Remember, there's pork and beef. It's so good. The Locatelli cheese. Can never put enough of cheese. Always cheese, cheese, cheese. Mozzarella. Am I making your mouth water yet? And now we go for our second layer. We can put a little more sauce. We don't want to make it too watery, too saucy, too liquidy. It's so simple. And it's everybody's favorite. Everyone loves lasagna. I think it's the best one dish ever. One dish cooking ever. You can do patchwork. These noodles are great. They're so soft and very light. That's what I love about them. And then the sauce just holds it right down. Brings it all together. Can't go wrong. The ricotta really smells good. It's fresh ricotta. And you saw what I added to it. Again, fresh parsley and garlic is such a staple in Italian cooking. It's such a necessity. If you don't have that, it's like having a car without tires. I mean, you need it. You need it to get to that destination of great cooking. Simple, simple ingredients, simple recipes make a delicious dish. Next few of my YouTubes are going to be some recipes that I've created with my dad. We've created them and we've even named them. But I want to talk again, I was talking about family food and tradition, how important it is. And again, we put some, first I want to put the beef. How important it is to have a dinner time at your table, everyone to look at each other and talk about their day and what they've done. The children, any sporting that they're doing, schoolwork, their grades, books that they might be reading. Communication is such a key to life, and that's what cooking does. It creates family values. It creates family tradition. So when everyone's grown up and time passes on, and what are they going to remember? Their grandma's homemade ravioli, their mother's lasagna. All of this is all important. It's needed today. Communication is the key of life. And we're never going to forget that. And the way we do that is through family food and tradition. Okay, so now we're going to put, I'm slicing. I usually buy the fresh mozzarella, as we say in Italian, mozzarella. I buy the fresh, and here we go. We're going to put this down. And this goes in the oven, again, 350 for about an hour. And please note that my recipes will all have the preparation and the ingredients as listed. I get calls from everybody when I post. Everyone's like, when are you going to write a cookbook? When are you going to write a cookbook? I'm working on a book. It's not just a cookbook. It's going to be called Back to the Table, meaning it's a way that we can bring family food and tradition back to the table and generate, again, communication and share the love with our family and share the tradition and make memories. And here's our lasagna. It's going to go in the oven at 350. Fresh and ready, here we are. Ready to go. Delicious lasagna, homemade. Simple. And if you're having guests tonight for dinner or tomorrow, you can make it in advance. But your family would just love it. And your friends. Let's dish it out. I'm going to be the first to taste my lasagna. Scrumptious. So delicate, so light, and so delicious. Again, simple ingredients make simple dishes. Bon appetit.